Week 6 of the NFL season has just wound up. We're going to go ahead and recap that for you, and we're going to go ahead and start with the Cowboys. Ian, why don't you tell us what happened?
The Dallas Cowboys squared off against their AFC twin in the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football. Despite Vegas's favor, the national and local media was certain of another primetime Cowboy failure. Yes, the boys were battered and bruised on both sides of the ball facing a rested Charger team at home. Yes, they started poorly, first with a 3-and-out on offense, then by allowing an opening touchdown drive to Kellen Moore and his new beau, Justin Herbert. But despite their good looks, the rested team, and their high powered offense, and the Cowboys' terrible uniforms, the Chargers did not have Rain Dakota Prescott. Dak looked determined and answered with a touchdown run on fourth down, tying the game at 7. Though the action stalled for the remainder of the half, the Cowboys' defense, despite not being spectacular, mimicked Dak's determination and kept the Chargers at bay. A field goal just before halftime put the boys ahead at the break. Despite a lopsided time of possession favoring the Chargers in the third, the Cowboy defense stood firm, first by stopping the Chargers on fourth down in the red zone, then by forcing a field goal. With the score tied at 10, Dak improvised his way down the field for another touchdown. The Cowboys' stranglehold on the game flipped, though, with an unfortunate muff punt by Jalen Tolbert, saving LA's embarrassing performance on offense. With a short field, the Chargers tied it up at 17. Prescott again replied with points by getting a field goal just before the 2-minute warning. Down 20-17, the supposed better QB fell short as the Cowboys' defensive effort was finally rewarded with a Parsons sack on third down and a Stephon Gilmore interception on fourth to put the game away. I'm a little exhausted after reading that, but I was also exhausted after the game. But my first thought after that game, boys, was 3 words. Rain Dakota Prescott. I mean, guys, am I wrong in saying that his performance was the main reason them boys won, or did somebody else stand out? But I mean, come on.
Oh, I mean, we couldn't run the ball to save our life. Yeah, no, it was Dak, and it was luckily Kellen Moore and Herbert deciding, I don't want to be accurate today, and I don't want to be good. And so, yeah, no, offensively, though, that was Dak.
No, I mean, who else can you point to? Especially with I obviously in the stat book or the scoreboard, you could say the defense played well, but I felt like it was kind of a shaky performance for their standards, so to speak. So
Well, I could say Mister played pretty well early on in the game, but I ain't gonna go against my first thought with Dak. Man, he was spectacular. But to Rudy's point, yeah, there was no offensive run game to speak of throughout that game. And so that kind of gets me to, I think, a conversation we need to have on the offensive side of the ball regarding the Cowboys. Uh, I mean, the run game, the old line looked good in pass protection, but I think they were getting beat in the trenches when it comes to the run game. And just kind of a little sloppy, look a little fatigued. Was that a bigger concern than, let's say, Michael Gallup, who just for some reason doesn't seem know how to beat his man on slants, and when he needs to make a play, he can't do it, or Tony Pollard and his touches? Do we need to see
No,
bigger
no,
splits? What's the biggest concern?
No, the biggest concern is the offensive line. I mean, it was every single time by the time Tony touches the ball, there's a man in his face. And sometimes it was 2 people. You know, it was multiple offensive linemen getting beat. Michael Gallup struggles. Just, you know what you do with them? Just put him on the bench. Don't have to worry about it anymore. And so, no, it's the offensive lineman. We have to be able to run the ball. We're not always going to be up against an offense that decides they don't want to be good. And, no, we need to be able to run the ball.
I think it's 2 parts. Both Michael Gallup, who for whatever reason can't beat press coverage, and also Tony Pollard. I don't know, man.
Oh my goodness!
I don't know.
There was
It's a
no
little
hole.
bit. It's a little bit different being the top dog than it is to be the change of pace.
I mean,
Yeah,
don't
I
get me
think
wrong.
it.
Workload can affect, but dude, there was no hole. Like there was nothing to be taken.
I think. Well, the thing is, I think Tony Pollard's workload is really starting to show in the fourth quarter. That man looking dog tired out there, and when he had that spin play when Dak improvised, I was kind of shocked to see him get chased down. And I think that just kind of like that play kind of captures Tony Pollard not being Justin as burstful and youthful as we
Telling
see
you,
with
man,
all those.
it adds up. Not everyone's
It
built
adds
for that
up.
type of life.
Mm-hmm. But you
The
got
man
Rico
spun
Dowdle
out of the
there. Let's
tackle.
use him. But to
The
Rudy's
tired
point,
man
though,
broke the tackle.
to Rudy's point, though, I think the offensive line is probably the bigger problem because we have solutions for the Tony Pollard thing, which is all right. Let's get an even split, and for Michael Gallup, I mean, a lot of people are saying like, let's get Tolbert in there because he can maybe run the routes.
Well, we don't even know if Tolbert can get
We
off
don't
the
know.
line.
Yes,
So-
but I would say, bro, let's get Turpin in there because that man can definitely beat beat the cornerbacks off the line. So, yeah, to me, the biggest problem is what's going on with this O line and how can we fix that? And maybe some of that also comes down to Mike McCarthy deciding to run in shotgun a couple times in the game. It's just, I don't know, that never seems like a good idea. And I'm not talking like RPOs or read options. These were just shotgun runs, which I think people might question. Now, speaking of Mike McCarthy, I got no problems with him as a head coach whatsoever. I know people are going to bitch and moan about the clock situation at the end of the half, maybe even at the end of the game. But, I mean, come on. I feel like that dude, whatever he does, people are going to bitch about his clock management. But as a play caller, something just don't look right.
Yeah, my concern is definitely more with the play calling. It was looking real stale. It was looking like they knew we were going to run up the middle on this one, and it did not feel good. I didn't like watching it. I don't know. It's all slants and flats, and so he's still sticking to what he knows. I know, but you know who else knows? The defense. So we got to adjust somehow.
Would you have preferred curls and hitches?
But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Kellen Moore didn't call a good game either. Like the first drive, they gave him all the credit in the world, and he did nothing else the rest of the game.
No, I mean, maybe now's the week that you can make. Well, I guess if they would have lost that game, you could have really pushed the envelope. But maybe, I don't know, maybe this bye week they get a chance to reevaluate things, see what's been working, see what's been not. At least, like, you could kind of say this past game they were actually pushing the ball down the field a little bit more than what they were doing the first couple weeks. So,
now, I mean, it does make it difficult when you drop a play and Michael Gallup just drops the ball. And so, I mean, you weren't being helped out either by your roster.
Yes. I think Mike McCarthy actually recently said in the interviews that he thinks it all comes down to execution. But I mean, that man is defensive, and I don't mind that when it comes to him defending, his play calling. But if it is a point of execution, I think once again we can point to probably some solutions. Is we gotta get Gallup rotated more with Tolbert or Turpin. We got to see other people that can maybe execute your offense better than, and let's split it up with Tony Pollard and Rico Dowdle. Let's get maybe even Hunter Lepke involved so we don't look so gassed later on. But, Justin, I think a lot of the deep plays came from Mr. Rain Dakota Prescott, just improvising and looking like 2016 Dak.
Well, yes and no. I think obviously the off-script stuff, you got a lot of big plays from that. But I think most of the deep shots were in structure, no.
I just don't remember too many of the big plays coming from.
Well, it doesn't have to. For me, I'm not necessarily saying that like the pass was completed. Mm-hmm. That so even if it was like an attempt. Well, that's one. The Gallup drop, that's two.
Yeah.
Like there was a couple big play first down conversions to CDs that were.
Yeah, they were being deliberate with the deep ball. I felt like they were doing a little bit more than last game, but I wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more of that.
All right. Well, if we're done on the offensive side of the ball, let's just mosey on down to the defensive side of the ball. Now, man, that front four looking ferocious as ever. I know it didn't really show in the stat book, kind of like how Justin alluded to early on. But when it came down to clutch moments, they performed perfectly. I think Adigizua had himself a day. Michael Parsons was everywhere, making Justin Herbert look uncomfortable. And maybe we can have a conversation of, well, if you're going to play Justin Herbert and if you're going to miss wide open touchdowns, bro, you guys should have lost.
I
Blah,
don't
blah, blah.
understand why people can't seem to think that like that's a byproduct of the pressure. If someone's antsy all game, like they,
Yes.
like I understand that's not like uh black and white, that they're just like you can't like point to, oh well, this person missed this throw because of the pressure, but like you can't account to like human emotion of, oh man, like even if the pressure isn't there, I'm still anticipating it because I know it's coming. Like,
Well, and that's the thing too, is the secondary did not have the greatest game. They made some plays, of course, the Deron Bland saving the touchdown there, but he didn't have a good game. Neither did Gilmore. No, we needed that front four to apply the pressure like they did, because, dude, it was kind of rough out there.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Deron Bland. And also, just one more thing on Herbert. That dude is an athletic young quarterback. So even if you're not going to get the sacks, they did a good job containing him, which I know they haven't done well with athletic quarterbacks, sans Daniel Jones. But yeah, Deron Bland. I know people already give him his flowers and say he's close to Diggs on levels, but if you ain't gonna make a big clutch play late in the game with that pick right in your hands, I need to see you tackling, boy, when the receiver is right in front of you. Yeah, I need you to be a little bit more consistent.
yeah, forget the drop picking, the tackling.
Yes, it was on display, but if I could say this, I mean, if he's gonna be clutch late in the game, all right, I'll give a pass. But I'm warning you, Bland. But also the safety play, I don't know. We're still waiting to see them look consistent and look I don't know, their old selves. And Stephon Gilmore, been a lot of talk about that man maybe being better than Diggs. I think the more and more we go on, I think I'm just gonna keep saying, bro, I miss Diggs so bad, because they would be pretty shut down if Diggs was there. But they look a lot less without him.
Yeah, and again, like going back to clutch moments, like the team doesn't get a sack the whole game until the final drive when Parson gets home, and so it's just as much as and they do need to fix the rest of the game stuff. We can't just rely on the clutch part, but damn, we're killing that clutch part too. So I'm attacking them in some parts, but I'm also giving them some credit in some others.
I don't know. Yeah, and didn't I bring up last week about how, I don't know, like yes, the defense is still really good, but that lack of presence with Diggs obviously not being on the field, that for some reason they just don't have that same type of confidence or swagger or whatever sort of Ackerman or saying you want to say. Like I still feel like even on Monday it still was like kind of one of those, yeah, I don't know if we really want to be dominant this game, or like, I mean, yeah, like we'll eventually make the play, but like I don't know. Outside of the pregame fight, I didn't really see those little, not to use intangibles and like coach speak, but I just didn't see that confidence still.
I really think you're right though. We're still waiting on like a player to step up and fill that gap, and it's weird though because I never saw Diggs as the guy. I mean, maybe more of like a setting the tone. Like he was there, you know what I'm saying? Like he was always there and he was always a part of the defense, feeling confident. But I never thought of him as like the centerpiece. But like I said, just about the secondary, without him being there, it's a little bit more noticeable. And I agree 100%, Justin, with you. But maybe some of it will come from the youth with Marquise Bell having himself a night. Obviously, he's not as confident as Diggs, but he looked pretty good in the linebacker position.
Yeah, that, like, I know we've talked about in the past, but like these like hybrid safety linebackers that are able to get down in the box and tackle, they're so beneficial to our defense. And yeah, Marquise Bell definitely had himself a good game there.
Justin, not impressed.
No, I mean, there's nothing else really left to say. I mean, hopefully he can carry the momentum through the bye and into the next game. I mean, it's one of
This is
those.
his second good game, am I correct? Because I think he showed out in the Giants game.
Yeah, week one
Or
he went off.
yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know, man. It's just the dude's so small. Like, I
he
mean,
is small.
to
But
his
he's
credit, he's
there,
making
man.
it work,
Yeah.
He's small,
and
but
it just
if
makes
he's
me
clean,
nervous.
yeah. But I mean, we saw Damone Clark back there too, and there was a big difference between the two of them. Because
Well, they're
if
both,
Marquise Bell is clean, he is attacking.
yeah.
Damone
I
Clark,
mean,
I'm still seeing he seemed a little slow and reactive.
but like, you think they can keep them clean every game, like consistently? I mean,
Uh,
that's just
I mean,
my only thing. I'm just like, man, like Bell don't look like the type. I mean, like yeah, to his credit, some maybe it's just the 14s making him look skinnier than.
Yeah, and
no, I think you're
I'll
right
also
with that.
say though, like, I what am I going to do? Predict injury for him? Like, I know not every game he's going to be as good as he was this last game, but if he just keeps doing it, he just stays consistent, man. There's nothing to poke at, you know.
It's not injury thing. It's just more of like, I don't know, like if they're playing him in the middle and off the ball like that, rather than like an inbox safety look, like when he's setting the edge or whatever, like taking on a guard or taking on a tight end that's pulling, like I feel like yes, he makes his presence felt. He's strong enough, but it's just something about making me nervous if he's going to be playing more in the middle like they haven't, like they did this Chargers game. It's just like, can he really take on like a guard coming at full head of steam and actually fill that gap when it needs to be done, and doesn't just open up the Red Sea just because he's smaller than the traditional linebacker.
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, boys. Before we go around the NFL, I just want to say shout out to Rudy Guerra. Welcome back, by the way, my man.
Hey, thank you.
Off the
Yeah,
COVID list,
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
So
the fake COVID list.
it wasn't COVID, but yeah, okay.
yeah, that's right. It was diarrhea, right?
Had to get a nasal swab and came back clear. I'm back, boys.
Good. All right. Well, as president of the Running Back Matters Committee, there are a couple of other standout performers, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Derrick Henry, my man. The man looking a little old, long in the tooth when he got tackled from behind by Marcus Williams, but still, he putting the team on his back with Mr. A. Whoop Tamu Tannehill kind of throwing the game away. But still, shout out to Derrick Henry, bro. I wish you the best. Speaking of Tannehill and the Titans, let's just go there. They played in London, but the unseriousness still traveled with both teams across the pond. I don't, man. But I guess the Baltimore Ravens came out ahead with the unseriousness because Tannehill was just in overdrive, and
he got hurt, bro.
They did put in Malik at the end.
They closed the gap when he got hurt.
No,
Justin?
Lamar
Yes.
let him back into that game, bro.
Malik almost scored
with the big
rushing touchdown.
Yes, man. The second half they came out so nasty, it wasn't even funny.
That was a terrible game. That second half was atrocious.
Well,
I think like every other play was an interception. The muff punt was right before the half, right? That was
yes.
Yeah. Oh God. Keep that game in London. I don't want to see that in the States ever again.
Nah. I won't tolerate any Action Jackson slander unless it's a fumble because that's the only time that it really is his fault, which he avoided, I believe. So. But yeah, I was more talking about Tannehill just being god awful. I think that man accounted for maybe 3 turnovers. It looks like just 1 pick. But once Malik Willis entered the game, that dude, got some garbage stats, but basically kind of lifted the team. But I don't know what's going on in Tennessee with the quarterback situations.
Well, he gonna shoot up whatever painkillers they gonna give him, and he's gonna go out there again and play somehow, some way. Tannehill said he ain't losing that job, even though I think they have a bye next week, but still.
They do have a bye.
Yeah, I think they do.
Baltimore decided not to have a bye after London. We'll see if that affects anything.
Well, okay. Let's be honest though. I do appreciate Baltimore playing the take the points game. You know how Harbaugh always likes to be
Complicate
gambling.
things.
Yeah. But I feel like Tennessee, at least I feel like he's learned his lesson against Tennessee. I feel like they're the type of team that if you don't take your points, something stupid is going to happen inevitably, and they're going to find a way to ink their way back in the game. So, to as much as you've been like throwing dirt on TAMU, you got to at least give Tennessee credit, bro. Like, if you don't take care of business in the red zone, they're going to make things pesky for you.
Well, didn't Tennessee score like a late touchdown, but it actually wasn't that close? Like I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
No, they had the ball.
No, it was a field goal.
They had the ball down 8. And plenty of time.
That was no. They kicked a field goal late in the game to make it 24-16. So they were down 24. It was a 2-score game, and then they kicked an onside and they didn't get it, and that's how the game ended. So it was a desperate 1-score game at the very end. So they needed a miracle. But enough of that unseriousness. Let's turn over to something a little bit more pressing. I guess let's look at our NFC bunkmates. Yeah, PJ Walker magic occurred up in Cleveland. Okay, I know people want to stinko on the 49ers, but they were kind of right there, and it just luck didn't go their way in that game.
Yeah, I will say again though, this is how the NFL goes. No team is perfect. They weren't gonna go undefeated. They were gonna lose at some point, and it happened in Cleveland. And it was a tight game for 99% of that contest. So I don't know, man. PJ Walker magic, like you said.
At least somebody. I gotta give Cleveland credit, bro. If they didn't have redacted, it would be a lot more fun to watch them play. But boy, at least they're actually like physical and not scared, bro. You got that pregame dust up, actually stealing the 49ers little tradition thing with the beat the speakers and the beatbox or whatever. But I don't know, man. At least they're physical.
Yeah, 100%. I think weather might have played a factor too in that game, but you know what you're gonna get down in Cleveland, bro. When you're basically been baby brother for a long time with the Steelers and the Ravens and now the Bengals. It's nice to see them be nasty on defense, led by speaking of TAMU, Myles Garrett. But yeah, shout out to PJ Walker and all Jerry Jones haters. Love to see Mari Cooper, I think, have a nice game. But we can move on to another, what is actually a really disastrous performance, which was the Philadelphia Eagles stinking it up in New York. Jalen Hurts with not one, not two, but 3 interceptions. And the worst interception coming late in the game to give the Jets life and basically seal the game with the W.
Okay. Look, Philly, Jalen Hurts isn't going to throw 3 interceptions every game, but every team has fallacies. You can beat every team on a given day. So I hate the idea that people just assume the NFC is between 2 teams that are perfect, and Philly and the 49ers, and we saw it this weekend, man. Like, you can lose to anyone. The Jets and the Browns.
Rudy, do you still think DeAndre Swift is going to get that bet that we were talking about?
Remind me of what the bet was?
I said he got to get it.
I'm just going to answer it, but go
ahead. I think it was like he just got to get at least 800 yards because you're like singing his praises.
Well, I mean, if they're going to just like give it to A.J. Brown the entire game, I have no chance.
Oh, great transition, Rudy. Great transition.
Okay.
Because, I was thinking to myself a couple of weeks ago, do we have any more diva receivers left in this game? There's one thing that I know for sure is missing. We don't have the ball hawks that can take it to the crib no more. And I think another dying breed, or so I thought, was the diva wide receiver. But to Rudy's credit, if we're just going to give A.J. Brown the ball the rest of the way, the diva wide receiver is back and he kicked it off. Old boy said, "Hey, bro, we whooping this team's ass, but I ain't getting my touches. I'm going to cause a scene." They've been force feeding that man every week since. Fast forward to Jamar Chase. What he say? "I'm always open." That man said, "I need a contract. I need a contract now." Joe Burrow, he already got his. I don't care he's hurt. I need my touches. That man's been feeding on the ball ever since he said that. Last week, Sedarius Lamb saying, "Oh, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on with this offense. I don't know. I just need to be involved. I just need to be," all week talking about he needs to be involved. He needs to be doing this, that, and the other. What happened what happened Monday? CeeDee Lamb got the ball. And then fast forward to present day this week. Devontae Adams saying, "Yeah, I get it. We won." And I know a lot of y'all think, it's about the wins and losses, but my threshold is greatness. And that man said he needed his touches. So once again, fellas, I thought this place was extinct, but we got him back. The divas are back.
Honestly, and sometimes like you'll hear someone speak out and the coach does the opposite. They're like, "Oh, nah, you can't be doing that in the media." No, they've been and they should be. These are great. They're good wide receivers to great. It varies. But they got talent that you can't just not use on the field. And like with CD's case, just the way we went to him this past week on Monday was beautiful to see. Like, and we've been needing it. There have been so many games where like CD's just like he'll maybe get a touch or two early, and then you don't see him for the rest of the game. So no, it's great.
Yeah, no, Rudy, you're right. These receivers are great, or at least they're trying to be great by causing a scene, man. Because they need their touches. I mean, let's get it's an entertainment business, and with Odell Beckham getting thicker and bigger and looking more like a pass blocker, it's nice to see the young breed coming up and those who still got the juice, man, fighting the good fight. And
the man in the ball.
Yeah. And then you know what that means is that if they're going to be divas, well, we're going to get some more fight matchups with the DBs too. Cornerback's going to be chirping and hollering at him saying, "Man, you ain't worth that contract. You ain't worth these touches." So let's see what's happening.
We saw that.
Let's get some Hollywood.
Yeah, we saw CJ Gardner-Johnson going at it with Deebo Samuel this past week as well.
Another thing, bro, listen, don't be friendly when you see me. Because you be so flashy. You better hope, bro. You better hope all that talking you be doing when we see y'all, whatever round it may be. Because I can guard you. You can't run routes. You're a running back.
Bro, okay, though. I get what CJ's trying to do there, but calm down, guy. Talking about, no, he's just a running back. He trash. And,
bro, you missing the point, bro. That man actually wanted to smoke. He said... kicked it off. He's like, "Man, he ain't even really like that. Always doing all that flaunting."
He did say that.
Bro, he I think that man really want to fight him.
Bro,
CJ want to fight Deebo?
Yes. That man got
feisty NFL.
That man just saw that on the TV or on his Instagram or Twitter feed and was just disgusted, bro. He's like, "Bro, I can't believe that. That can't believe they showing that man. That man cannot fight. Look at him." The man just had it was like an Instagram comment, I think. Yeah,
I think what happened was it was the Niners and the Browns, jostling at the beginning of the game, and then CJ just
bro, he got out of that game and immediately he could not believe what he saw. Wait, was the Niners at noon? Yeah, bro. Yeah. That man said, "Forget the game, Phil. Forget the presser. I gotta see what's going on online."
Oh boy.
But at least I was calling foul on Deebo's responses, but at least he said, "At least I'm getting paid more." At least we're all at least getting to the point that what really matters in this league. But
all right, let's do it. And now it's time for the pick'ems. Ian, why don't you tell us how we did last week?
I will. Let's just say that Chief is still up on top with 9 wins, and Justin did not do too hot once again
Oh my
with
goodness.
6 wins, and Wheezy,
Oh.
you're right in the middle. Actually, Wheezy, you had 8 wins, so that
Okay.
brings the total to your boy at 42, Wheezy at 36, and Justin bringing up the rear at 34.
Oh,
So it's
man.
kind of
Okay.
tight. It's still tight.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
lot of
We
ball
got
to
time
play.
for the comeback. A lot of ball to play. And we're going to start with Thursday night football where, remind me, guys, who did y'all take between Jacksonville and New Orleans?
Well, I took Jacksonville.
I
Okay.
took New Orleans.
I took New Orleans as well, so it looks like Justin's off to a 1-0 lead already. Moving on. We have the Falcons taking on the Buccaneers. The Falcons are traveling. It'll be in Tampa, and Tampa is actually favored by 2.5 points. Who do y'all got?
Give me Tampa Bay.
Yeah, give me TB.
Go ahead and give me Tampa Bay as well. Okay. Moving on, we've got Vegas. The Raiders are going to be traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears, where the
Oof.
Bears are going to be spotted at 2.5 points.
Bro,
Who do y'all got?
the battle of two backups. Yikes. Ugh.
Who's the backup for the Bears?
Some dude that they drafted out of some like Division II college.
The Warren Moon route.
It's not. Man, who would want to watch that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's pretty atrocious.
I
Although
don't
the
think-
history in that game
Huh?
and the uniform matchup. Woo!
Well, I will say, being that it's Vegas, they're going to be gamblers still interested in that one.
Bro,
They'll
no,
put some
there's-
money on that.
Well,
There's nothing to gain. It would even if both quarterbacks are healthy. I don't think there would be much to gain out of it.
I'm gonna say
All
Devontae Adams inspires his team to victory. So give me the Raiders.
Yeah, give me Las Vegas.
A clean sweep for Vegas on that one. Moving on. We've got the fighting Cleveland Browns traveling to Indy to take on the Colts, where the Colts are spotted 3 points. Fellas, who you got?
Probably.
Cleveland, this is for you.
Yeah, I guess the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, ever since Anthony went down, Colts out of here.
This
me
is
the
another.
Browns.
This is another backup bowl. Ugh.
Yeesh.
Oh, wait,
we got some starters.
I guess redacted practice today or something.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about. We got some starters in the next game though, where the Detroit Lions are traveling to Baltimore. Baltimore is minus 3 points at the moment. Fellas, who you got?
Baltimore.
Ian, before you say anything, let me take Detroit.
I'm just gonna guess that I'm tired of hearing about these lines, and the unseriousness probably is still in London. Maybe the Ravens are able to escape the unseriousness back in London. So give me the Ravens.
All right, audience, this is where I gain ground. Let's do it, baby. Moving on, we've got a divisional matchup where the Buffalo Bills travel to Massachusetts to take on New England and the Patriots. It's plus 8.5 for the Patriots. Fellas, who do you got?
Bro, that game, that's not good. That's a very bad game as well. Like, there's no way Buffalo doesn't blow them out of the water.
What if like a monsoon hits New England? I think that's how they won like 2 years ago when they was like 10-7 and they couldn't even throw the ball because there was like too much weather.
Oh,
but yeah, no, Justin's right. Give me the Bills.
Bills. Okay.
Although
go ahead.
I mean, they did stink it up Sunday night, but yeah, I can't see
Okay.
that 2 nights in a row.
We have a clean sweep for Buffalo there. Moving on to another divisional matchup, this time in the NFC. We've got the Commanders taking on the Giants. The Giants are a +2.5 right now.
Ooh.
Who you got?
Oh boy. Give me the Commanders, I suppose.
Yeah, give me the Wizards.
Okay. I was going to say Commanders initially, but I kind of want to risk it and gain some ground.
Would
Give
would
me
it
the
be
G-Men.
would she be so unsure if it was Tyrod Taylor instead of Daniel Jones?
At this point, they both produce the same thing.
No.
I'm going to go with the
Austin,
G-Men.
yeah, I think
I'll say
he's got
that
right.
they end up maybe losing by 1, but that +2.5 hooks me up. So give me the G-Men. Moving on. We're now in the 3 o'clock slate. Arizona, the Cardinals are going to be traveling to another bird mascotted team, Seattle, to take on the Seahawks. It is -8 for Seattle right now. Who you got?
Gosh.
That's a lot of points.
It's a lot.
Give me the Cardinals to cover it. Yeah, it's a division game. You know how those be.
You know what? I'll still take Seattle.
All right. Justin, this is where we gain ground on Ian. Give me the Cards. Moving on, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to LA to take on the Rams. The Rams are at -3 at the moment. Who you got?
You said it's in LA.
Yes.
Give me
Uh,
Rams.
Let's go with Tomlin. Let's see what he got.
All right. It'll be Chief and I against Justin, and that one is I will take the Rams at home. Moving on, we have another LA team, the Chargers. They're going to be traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are at -5.5 right now. Who you got?
Ugh. No, yeah, it's always going to be this way. It's going to be a tight game the whole game, and then it's going to come down to the Chargers needing 7 to win, and they lose all the time.
So that sounds like
I can see it being tighter, but I kind of got to agree with Justin's logic.
It's the same script every time.
It is. Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
All right. This is where I gain ground again. Give me the Chargers. It's crazy too because nothing about their performance on Monday inspires me to pick them. I think I'm just solely motivated at making a comeback in the pick 'em.
They don't have to win, and I kind of
That's
see
true.
the logic.
That's true.
Bro, and then Kansas City, when they played Denver, yuck.
Divisional matchup. Those can be tight.
No,
moving on.
It's just going to be, Rudy, it's just going to be the script is always going to be 7 differential. If it was like, I don't know, like 6, I can understand it, but 5
yeah,
could be
5.5's a little tight, but we'll see how it goes. Moving on, we've got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos, where the Broncos are spotted 1 point. Fellas, who you got?
I guess
Wait,
the Packers
Broncos are favorites?
They're spotted a point. They're +1.
Oh, okay.
Let's go Pack.
Yeah, I'm just feeling less and less inspired by Go Pack Go, but looking at the other side, the other team, I'll take the Pack.
All right, clean sweep for the Pack there. Moving on, we've got 2 hype trains coming together where the Miami Dolphins travel to Philly, taking on the Eagles. Philly is -2.5 right now. Who you got?
It's in Philly?
Yes.
I will take the Eagles.
I think I saw or heard some stat that the records of all the teams the Dolphins have played has been 4 wins or something like that. So I don't know. I guess give me the Eagles.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to come back strong. I'll say they cover that as well. Philly. Now we go to Monday Night Football, where we go to another team that lost unexpectedly. The San Francisco 49ers are traveling to Minnesota. It is currently +7 for Minnesota. Who you got?
Why is he in so much pain?
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
That's just a nasty matchup, bro. Especially after you do prime time with Dolphins at Eagles, which is why are the Dolphins in prime time. And then you say, you know what, let's double down and let's put the 49ers at the Vikings because why? Oh, good grief. All right. Give me the Niners.
Justin can't speak. Right. I'll go ahead and I'll take the 49ers to cover that.
Yeah, give me the Niners.
All right.